pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Jeff Renahan, First Ward.
Bill Carlos, Second Ward.
Jessica Lopez, 3rd Ward.
Michael Safone, 4th Ward.
Matthew Oliver, 5th Ward.
Ann Schurshin, 6th Ward.
Jim Nelson, attorney for the town.
John Baisley, supervisor for the town. Tonight's agenda, we have no public hearings. First item on the agenda is promotion of Officer Michael Hendrick to detective. Second item on the agenda is Police Officer Christopher Barnhart to detective. Third item, authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with Dutchess County in the City Beat program. Fourth item, authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with Spackenhill School District on surveillance cameras. 5, authorize the supervisor to sign Central Hudson Lime Energy proposal for 78 Sandock Road Sewer Department building. Number 6, a bid award for maintenance for Route 9 and 55 medians. 7, set date for public hearing on Town Code Amendment, Chapter 19548 for Davis and Fowler Avenues. 8, approve update to employee handbook. 9, authorize the supervisor to sign a dial ride extension agreement with the county. 10, accept a certificate of attendance, Carl Whitehead, the planning board. 11, authorize the supervisor to sign stop DWI agreement, patrol agreement, and DRE officer agreement. 12, appoint associate town delegate and alternate delegate. 13, promote Taryn Riley, personnel administrator. 14, promote Jessica Servideo, senior accountant. 15, accept the resignation of Ron Corrado, building maintenance worker. 16, appoint Danielle Steele, court attendant. 17, authorize Forces Development sewer system acceptance. 18, authorize special consents 1 and 2. Special consent 1, waiver liquor license for residents in renewal. SC 2, New York State controls determination to retire Detective Toledo. I'd like to make a motion to set the rules for any item on the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to discuss any item on the agenda? If not, a motion to resume the rules.
So moved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jeff?
Be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the assignment of Police Officer Michael Hendricks to the position of detective at the yearly salary of $98,405.81, subject probationary period of not less than 8 nor more than 26 weeks per civil service law, effective January 28, 2019. And be it further resolved, the town supervisor or his designee are authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Detective. Well done.
Mr. Carlos.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the assignment of Police Officer Christopher W. Barnhart to the position of detective at the yearly salary of $98,405.81, subject to a probationary period of not less than 8 nor more than 26 weeks per civil service law, effective January 28, 2019. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor or his designee are authorized to execute and file all documents required by Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations. All right.
You're fired.
Find out who did that, Chris.
It's only the supervisor.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That'll work out.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with the County of Dutchess and other municipalities regarding the Town Police Department's participation in the Dutchess County Crisis Intervention Team Training and the establishment of a county-town police behavioral evaluation and assessment team program in substantially the form annexed, and be it further resolved, the execution of said agreement is part of the ongoing administration of the town's affairs requiring no secret review. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved, Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby authorized the supervisor or his designee to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Spakenkill Union Free School District from January 16th, 2019 through, are we going 1 year?
1 year?
It continues to roll, and so I think I would just leave that either to be determined.
To be determined. All right, which memorandum of understanding is to clarify the scope of the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department's right to access the school district's surveillance camera system pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth in said memorandum in substantially the form annexed, and be it further resolved that because this memorandum involves the ongoing administration of the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department, is a type 2 action requiring no secret review. So moved.
Second?
A motion second. Any questions on this
I just have a quick question. It says in the resolution that it's primarily the surveillance camera system, but then in the documents itself, it also mentions the computer databases and other such information. Is that a thing, or is it just the security cameras primarily?
No, I mean, that would be for any, like, video that's stored on their system.
Oh, okay. You're not talking about other records or anything. It's just a video. Okay. Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 5, whereas the building department has received a cost proposal from Central Hudson Gas and Electric to have its efficiency contractor, Lime Energy Company, replace lighting fixtures at the Arlington wastewater plant, 78 Sandock Road, sewer department for
$6,213.39.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor or his designee, after consultation with the attorney to the town, to execute contracts for these replacements at the net costs as proposed. Said contracts to be in substantially the form as the earlier contracts between the town and Lime Energy, and be it further resolved that said action is a type 2 action requiring no environmental review. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on that? The only comment is that takes care of all our buildings and our streetlights. The only thing we have left are Rate B streetlights, so we'll be working on in the future once we get a list and a number to work on those.
Very good.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Whereas quotes were sought for Route 55 and Route 9 median maintenance, and whereas Empire Landscaping was the sole proposer at a total cost of $55,200, now be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor to execute a contract for such work at said price to Empire Landscaping upon receiving proof of required additional coverage, and be further resolved, the Town Board does hereby determine that this is a type 2 action require no environmental review. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions?
I did have a quick question on this. It was unclear as to whether the 55.2 is a yearly bid amount or
It's for 2 years.
It's for 2 years? Okay.
So it's 27,
Change, okay,
whatever, and
great.
change
Yep.
per year. So this is a 2-year, and Empire had done them for us before, and they did a very good job. And the reason why it's difficult to find anybody is because the state is now requiring additional insurance, which is very expensive. But Empire is already doing the medians for the Galleria on Route 9. So they have the insurance, and that's why they're the sole bidders. We've had other people bid on this last year and then pulled out when they found out how expensive.
Empire did it for us last year. We finally, they did.
The year before.
Yeah,
The
but
year
last year,
before.
we couldn't find anybody. Empire was the person that eventually came in and
Yeah,
and
finished
did
it.
it. Yeah.
Great.
And the insurance coverage has more than tripled for what the DOT wants. We've been trying to work with them to come up with a different number or something to try to help them along, but last year, one of the bidders came in at like 15,000, the insurance was almost 15,000.
So it wouldn't have.
Yeah,
Not
and
cost
the
effective at all.
rec committee's been talking about replacing the mulch with something else, maybe grass or something else, that this doesn't become a problem. We can just mow it and it'd be less
We've
expensive.
contacted the senator's office to discuss that with the DOT for this year, see if they can do something with it to change it.
Yeah,
Put colored stone in. It cost more money at first, but we never have to do it again.
yeah, but you still get weeds coming up through the stone.
Yeah, but you put the black,
plowed and such.
put that black stuff down, and you put the stone on top of it, all you have to do is blow it.
Blacktop.
We asked them for.
I mean,
grant-
I'm not a contractor or anything, but
We asked them for-
around the house, that works pretty good.
That would stop the weeds.
We should look into other things
Yeah,
that don't
they are
require
They
maintenance.
need to look
Yeah.
at other things.
You don't want me doing it.
No. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0. Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby set the 6th day of February 2019, 7 p.m., Town Hall, 1 Over Rock Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, as and for the time, date, and place of a public hearing to consider an amendment to Town Code, Chapter 195, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, specifically 195-48, Schedule 13, parking prohibited at all times, which amendment would be as follows. Schedule 139-48, Schedule 13, parking prohibited at all times. Add Fowler Avenue West, 30 feet north from the stop sign at Davis Avenue. Fowler Avenue East, 20 feet north from Davis Avenue crosswalk. Davis Avenue North, 20 feet west and east from Fowler Avenue corners. Be it further resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie does determine that this action is a Type 2 action requiring no environmental review. Be it further resolved that said local law, if adopted, shall become effective immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State. So moved.
Second.
A second. Any questions?
Yeah, well, this one here too is, it's in Arlington, and parking is always a problem in Arlington. And people have been continuing parking closer and closer to the corners and have been blocking the sidewalks. So it's very difficult for people to walk. It's difficult to make turns there because your visibility is so blocked. So hopefully this will open up this corner here and make it more easy for people to get around Davis and Fowler.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept and adopt the update of the Employee Handbook dated December 7th, 2018, replacing the Employee Handbook originally dated October 5th, 2005, setting forth various policies, terms, and conditions of employment for certain employees, which a copy of said handbook can be found in the Town Clerk's office. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 9, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor to execute the 2019 Dial-A-Ride Extension and Amendment Agreement with the County of Dutchess, which agreement provides for a joint service transportation system for the general public with payments made by the town not to exceed $68,540.00. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on this? There's no increase in this. This is the same cost as last year. This is for the dial ride to shop and so forth, and doctor's visits and so on. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept the certificate of attendance for Carl H. Whitehead from Pace University for the course entitled 17th Annual Land Use and Sustainable Development Conference, held at the New York State Judicial Institute, a copy of which is attached. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby authorized the supervisor's execution of 2019 Stop DWI Program Agreement with the County of Dutchess, a copy of which is attached. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 11B, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor's execution of the 2019 Stop DWI Program Drug Recognition Expert Agreement with the County of Dutchess, a copy of which is attached. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint John J. Baisley as the delegate to the Association of Towns and Jeffrey Renahan as the alternate delegate. And be further resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize and approve attendance of all elected and non-elected officials with prior Town Board approval to the annual meeting of the Association of Towns. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on this? Anybody wants to go to this, feel free to look up on their site and see what classes they have. We've gone down sometimes for 1 day, 2 days, you know.
I have a packet in my office too.
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0. Be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby promote Taryn Riley to the position of Personnel Administrator effective January 1st, 2019, an annual salary of $52,000. Be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby promote Jessica Servideo to the position of Senior Accountant with the Town of Poughkeepsie Accounting Department effective January 1st, 2019, at an annual salary of $65,000. And be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 15, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept with regret the resignation of Ron Corrado, maintenance mechanic with the Town of Poughkeepsie Building Department, effective January 23rd, 2019. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions or
Ron's
comments?
going to be missed. He's done a lot of good work around here.
No, he's good. He's dependable. Missed part? Yeah, funny? There you go. He wasn't Joel, you know what, and he was there. If he wanted stuff done, he did get it done. I mean, he was good. He's going to be missed. It's going to be a hard spot. We are accepting resumes till February 1st, I think, is on the website. So anybody's looking for, anybody knows, anybody wants a position of this nature, feel free to let us know. They run buildings, grounds, they work over helping the police department sometimes, the senior center, they plow, basically whatever needs to be done in town hall, that's what they do. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Danielle Steele to the position of full-time court clerk in the Town of Poughkeepsie Court at the CSEA Grade 3, Step 1, salary of $17.36.04 per hour, effective January 22nd, 2019, which appointment is subject to a probationary period of not less than 8 nor more than 26 weeks per civil service law. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Whereas Forson's Realty Group, the owner of real property located on Schaefer Road at Route 9, received a conditional final site plan approval on August 16, 2018, from the Town of Poughkeepsie Planning Board for a development project known as Forson's Apartments, the project. And whereas the project is located within but not currently served by the Southgate Sewer District, and whereas Forson's Realty proposed to install a pump station at the project site, construct mains from the pump station through the town's northern Schaefer Road right-of-way and northerly through a New York State Department of Transportation right-of-way, and the lands of MVK Enterprises Incorporated to a town-controlled manhole, and has offered to construct additional mains from its pump station to its property lines to serve 4 additional neighboring parcels, and to thereafter convey the improvements and easements to the town at no cost. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the supervisor is authorized to enter into a contract and to execute such other documents necessary to issue a Highway Law 149 permit to Forson's Realty to allow the above improvements to be made and accept them on behalf of the town, subject to the conditions of Exhibit A and B, with the documentation to be in the form acceptable to the supervisor, superintendent of highways, attorney for the town, planning board attorney, town engineer, and director of municipal development. And be it further resolved that the town has no objection to Forson's Realty obtaining consent from MVK Enterprises Incorporated to the installation of its main within the town's existing easement dated September 24, 2015, and recorded on October 27, 2015, subject to approval from the town engineer. And be it further resolved that the project has been subject of a seeker review by the planning board, and the additional improvements are a type 2 action under seeker sections 617.5C, 11, and 25 as an equipment acquisition and the extension of utility distribution facilities in approved subdivisions. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you, Mr. Nelson.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby grant special consent to the following items, to wit, waive the liquor license for Residence Inn, and concur with the New York State Comptroller's determination in regard to Detective Toledo. Be it further resolved that upon objection of any member of the Town Board, an item may be removed from this list and voted on separately. So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby acknowledge receipt of a request on behalf of Residence Inn by Marriott LLC 2525 South Road, Route 9, Poughkeepsie, New York, for a waiver of the 30-day review period for a liquor license application, and be further resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the town's clerk forwarding of a waiver and consent pursuant to the attached request. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on that? Because if anybody knows, we saw this one once before. There was just, yeah, there was a mistake on it, so I just had to put it back through and get it right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie has received a determination regarding an application of Town of Poughkeepsie Detective William E. Toledo for accidental disability retirement from the Office of the New York State Comptroller, New York State and Local Police and Fire Retirement System dated January 8th, 2019, and whereas said determination found that Mr. Toledo is permanently incapacitated for performance of his duties as a Town of Poughkeepsie detective. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby concur with the Office of New York State Comptroller's Office determination, and his accidental disability retirement is effective immediately. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on this? I want to thank him for his time, and I want to thank Taryn and the chief for working on this. These are never easy processes to get them through. They take sometimes a year and a half. And the chief and Taryn both work diligently on trying to get this one through because we pay until they go through. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We've come to the end of our agenda. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for any item.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do you have anything to say? Doreen? You didn't want us to go quiet?
I can't breathe.
I'd like to summarize the inconsistencies and inaccuracies I heard last week at the committee of the board meeting when when Dutchess Avenue project was here. So I wrote a few things quickly.
Doreen, I hate to interrupt you, you're not coming across the
coming through.
system. Do you
Just
want to
speak
try
as
the
loud
other
as you
mic?
Probably not gonna work. I want to address the
No go.
Handheld.
Get it fixed. It worked before. I think we got it now.
I don't think so.
make some comments about the
Speak loud, Doreen.
make some comments about the Dutton project, the One Dutchess Avenue project that was presented last week. The property asset manager said that there would be, and I quote, "a minimum of services needed as the city of Poughkeepsie are the first responders to that property." Well, I didn't know how that could be, so I filed a FOIL request to Fairview Fire District the following day. And the answer to that was that no contract or agreement exists between the Fairview Fire District and the City of Poughkeepsie Fire Department for the City of Poughkeepsie Fire Department to be the first responders to the portion of One Dutchess Avenue project that is located in the town of Poughkeepsie. So that was an inaccurate statement that was then repeated during public comment. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. Also, that same night, the architect said something conflicting regarding the number of units in the building. They said, he said, and I quote, "it consists of 42 units per building. There are 28 one-bedroom and 28 two-bedroom. It creates 56 units per building." So in that same sentence, he said there's 42 units, and then he said there's 56. So in at 42 per building, that density would be 84, but going by this 28 and 28, that's 56 units per building, which would be 112. So according to that, they actually increased the density. So again, the number of units is unclear based on the architect's conflicting statement. Regarding parking spaces, he said there were 140 residential spaces. And he said that was, and I quote, "based on the parking calculation of 12.5 per unit." Well, for that calculation to be accurate, then the number of units would have to be 112. So again, is it 84 units or is it 112? And then the residential parking space calculation, he said they used 1.25. Well, if you look at the waterfront housing overlay district, that says the number of parking spaces is 1.5 per dwelling unit, unless the town board gave them approval to change it. Well, as far as I know, the town board has not given any approval to change that calculation, so therefore they used an incorrect calculation to determine the residential parking spaces. So in summary, are there 42 units per building, or are there 56 units? Is the density 84, or is it 112? And what's the calculation being used for parking? Is it 1.5, or is it 1.25? So those were the inconsistencies. And the last thing is, I'll just remind you that over the years, there's been a lot of talk about rec fees. And Mr. O'Neill last week said he would, and I quote, consider paying rec fees. Well, you have to just remember, if the town board rezones this project, there should be, in my opinion, something in writing that says they will pay rec fees. Because if left up to the planning board, the applicant's attorney once before said that it's up to the planning board, not the town board, to levy rec fees. So I would guess that they are hoping that they'll go before the planning board, and the planning board will be convinced to waive the rec fees. And as a town resident, I would have an issue with that. So I thank you.
Yeah, Doreen, most of these issues that you brought up, so as I said today, some of the board members have sent in the same issues, and Mr. Welty will contact them on all their discrepancies and try to work out all the concerns all the board members had. He sent an email out earlier this week to get more responses. Some of them came back already, and a lot of them verbally had some of the same answers that you had brought up.
Yeah, it just seems rather odd that after all this time, they weren't able to present consistent and accurate facts. So, thank you.
When I asked him, remember I read those three statements? And I asked him and I said, are you in compliance with the density? And he said, yes. The parking, yes. Okay. Well, the density of 84 units, if that's correct, is based on our approval of giving them a fourth floor. The overlay district says 3 floors. Leopards don't change their spots, do they?
Anybody have anything else? Motion to resume the rules.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Everybody have a great night.